Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Liana for LianaVibes.com, and in today's video we're going to go over what narcissists do on social media. There is usually a hint that you're dealing with a narcissist and it's about their activities on social media. Before I begin, please like, subscribe, and share, and now let's get into the video. So social media is part of our everyday lives. Most of us use social media. It's pretty inescapable to not be on social media with a plethora of different social media platforms, as well as cultural trends are heavily influenced by what we see on social media. Now, social media is the perfect arena for a narcissist, and there is usually a very telltale sign that the person that you're dating or that you're interested in is more than likely a narcissist or one that has high narcissistic traits. And that very thing being triangulation. And in my previous video, you know that we expanded the definition of triangulation to mean any person, place, or thing that a person uses to devalue and diminish you. So here are the following 3 reasons why a narcissist will use social media and how you can look out for the warning signs. Number 1, they follow all of their exes, past dates, and people they want to. When you're initially dating someone, information is key. It reveals a lot about what they've been through and what they've built as far as reflecting their values as well as their character. Now, if a person's friends or follower list is more than 95% to 99% of people that they want to be intimate with or have been intimate with or possibly been in a very intimate, deep relationship with, this is a warning sign. A follower and friend list should be just that. It shouldn't just be a collection, a red book, if you will, of all the people that you want to taste or be possibly intimate with on some level or some way. Key into that, if a person's using their social media as their personal red book and who are always down to if a person's social media is reflecting that, that person may not be using it for innocent high-level dynamics. Especially when it comes for narcissists, they love their narcissistic supply. And there's nothing more gratifying for a narcissist to have a collection of people, a virtual collection of narcissistic supply. Remember, because narcissists have very, very high insecurity and very low empathy, when they could designate that they're following lists and it's all these attractive people that, yeah, I've had a history with that person, they've had a history with me, or we have a thing going on mutually, that is a high sign of entitlement. And entitlement and selfishness has no place in a committed long-term relationship. A healthy one, at least. What's also creepy with narcissists is you may find that there is a trend on their following and friends list that a lot of the people may look like you. Our actions on social media matter. If you tell someone that they're attractive or you show a consistency of liking all of their sexy and explicit photos, that is saying something. In fact, this sentiment is brought from the marketing industry, where a lot of our communication is nonverbal. It's 10% what you say, but the rest is all nonverbal cues. And if you don't agree that the actions on social media matter, then explain to me why in divorce proceedings, lawyers absolutely look at your social media activity. Number 2, they mostly follow sexual content providers. For example, if all the people they follow has a link to their OnlyFans, for example, that is sexual content creation. That is a sexual content provider. Now, there's nothing wrong with how you make your money. The issue here isn't the suppliers. The issue are those who are demanding and seeking that service. In a future video, I'll be talking more about survival sex and the difference between that and sex work. In general, industries only exist because there's a demand for it. So if most of the profiles are leading to some outside sites, such as an OnlyFans, you may be dealing with a narcissist or someone who has a sex addiction. And addictions of any sort absolutely ruin relationships. For example, OnlyFans is like any other social media app. You can contact the content provider and pay for a subscription. The only difference is they allow more explicit content on that platform. Again, a person's activity on social media matters, all their proclivities as well as the things they think they can get away with. Let's bring a little bit of online dating into this. For example, you may find people who are on Tinder, which is generally a hookup app, and those very same people are on harmony.com, which is one where they pay for a subscription so that you can achieve long-term romance and relationships. That's the general idea anyways. However, when you see the same person in profile on Tinder as well as harmony.com, for example, it really sends a message of confusion. Because how can you compartmentalize exactly what you're looking for? Are you looking for just hookups? Are you looking for a long-term relationship? If you don't know what you're looking for, you'll get ambiguous, unclear results. It's begging the statement of make it make sense. Are you looking for a quick or are you looking for love? Naturally, what we expose to ourselves on a daily changes and shapes our brain. This is known as neuroplasticity. Every choice, every action changes the neural network in our brain, making it much easier to produce a specific result. So, for example, if a person on their social medias are following all explicit content or basically softcore pornography, what does that say when their daily feed is being exposed to that? That person is shaping their brain to be wired towards that. How do you think that influences a relationship, a monogamous relationship? If every day the partner wakes up, takes a shower, goes in the bathroom and is just scrolling, and on their feed is just all these half-naked bodies and basically body parts, essentially objectifying people. Do you think that would invite more stability and security in a relationship? Could it invite comparison of your partner at a subconscious, unconscious level? Could it lead to marital or relational dissatisfaction? How does that affect a person's view on intimacy? How does it affect objectification? How does that affect a person having arousal on demand? And essentially the things that they saturate their everyday awareness with is hypersexualized, as well as body parts and filters and people always wanting and vying for people's attention. Long term, if a person reinforces body types that their partner doesn't have, there will always be a level of dissatisfaction. Or what about in an argument, for example, where it'd be easy for a person to just shut you down, shut off, basically stonewall you, and then hop onto social media to look at all the most amazing other people, looking at their highlighted, edited lives, and then comparing, what's the point of investing in the relationship I have now? We have so many issues, so many problems. Essentially tuning out the partner, and instead of leaning in, leaning outwardly and triangulating the relationship as well as the individual that they're having conflict with. Even if a lot of things on social media are heavily edited, we may not think this actually affects us, but it absolutely does. Because we only pay attention to the conscious level of our reality. The deeper aspect of who you are is the subconscious, unconscious mind. It's like a giant iceberg where the only part that you see, which is 10% of the entire iceberg, is a representation of your conscious mind. The true drivers, the deep parts of you that you are unable to access in a normal waking conscious state. So it highlights the question, is your partner or person that you're in a relationship with using social media as nothing more but a feed for softcore pornography? Essentially, we need to hold people accountable as well as look at people for their hidden dysfunctions. If a person's heavily addicted to pornography-like content, whether softcore or hardcore porn, an addiction is an addiction. And when you look at addiction, it's saying that the neural pathway of the dopamine pathways is destructed. It's dysfunctional, it's deformed. And that's all because of a choice. What would happen if we saw people for how their current neural pathways are either functioning at their top tier level or at a dysfunctional state? How would that play a role in your attraction in dating? Because like that saying goes, it doesn't matter if you go to the gym every day, take supplements and eat healthy. If your mind is not healthy, then you are not healthy. This is why value mental health. If a person does not value mental health, what makes you think that they'll value your mental health? Number 3, arguments. They triangulate with the person they told you not to worry about. Have you ever been in a situation or known of someone in a situation where the person is saying, don't worry about them, they mean nothing to me, giving you false reassurances? You know, the one that they mutually share an abundance and chronic likes, as well as DMs and consistent contact and support in private, even though they may be in a relationship. Calling in the understanding communication again, 10% is what you say, the rest is body language. And on the digital space, it's not just the words, it's everything else behind the words, the intentionality. The reading in between the lines is the most important factor. Because a like is a very powerful communication tool. It's all the meanings of the person who sends the like and all the meanings that the person who receives the like, what they attach to that like. It's all about perceived meaning. And because it's social media, it especially allows for narcissists to feed into grandiosity and entitlement. They may feel entitled that sexy body, I must respond to it. I must show them that I like that. Have you ever found it interesting or a common trend that a lot of people like to hide their phones and put these critical long passwords just to lock it all up? There is a difference between privacy and secrecy, which I'll get into that in a future video. People now use their phones as a canvas, as an uncharted territory to express their shadow self. In fact, I would argue that our cell phones, our smartphones, know us so much deeper than our own partners do. And furthermore, it's so fascinating to me, there's a lot of people who do not understand there is a thing called emotional cheating. We often are very aware of physical cheating, and the person who cheats, as well as the person who's cheated on, can really be in detail on that constitutes as physical cheating. Usually it's some sort of intercourse, some sort of touching, kissing, fondling. However, fundamentally, people cannot communicate or signify what constitutes as actual emotional cheating. The reason why this is often so difficult is because it deals with the realm of emotions, and the realm of emotions is not so tangible. It's not something like in the physical world that you can hold, weigh, carry, smell, touch the texture, see, taste, and more. Feelings, we feel deeply, but we can't really experience it or let someone say, here's my feelings. And so it looks like this is its temperature, this is its whatever, what have you. You know what I'm saying. It's not so easy to signify when emotional cheating occurs. However, emotional cheating doesn't always lead to physical cheating. However, when it does occur, at that point, a relationship is unsalvageable. At this moment of the video, we're going to switch things up a bit, and now it's going to be a little bit of story time. So this happened back in 2014, and I was dating a person, we'll call them Jamie. They were fantastic. We had a lot of fun dates, and it was really, really, really wonderful. We went to concerts, traveled a bit, and we had a lot of great moments together. However, a month into it, I discovered he's actively in a relationship. I was devastated at this point, and I was really shocked and taken aback because I hadn't known. So I gave him an ultimatum. He has to be fair. He needs to be fair to her. He needs to be fair to me. And he needs to make an adult decision on what he wants in his life. This was immediately a turnoff for me, and I was devastated, and I kind of let the situation. However, he came around and convinced me that they were over, and he really wanted to give things a shot, and he was very apologetic. So, being young and dumb, I gave Jamie a chance. Trust at that point was broken, but I told him, in order for things to work, you need to be upfront and honest with me. From now on, period, no excuses. Well, that's not exactly what happened. There was this one evening we went to the city and had some exceptional Thai food at this beautiful decorated restaurant. We're ordering these very amazing dishes, and it's this swanky, awesome place, and we're chatting, drinking, and having a really good time. All of a sudden, his face just goes blank. His jaw drops, and I can see him, all the color in his face just disappears. And I stop and I ask, what's wrong? I thought maybe he got sick or something from the food. Then he explains to me, my ex just walked in. I should have told you, she's been stalking your social media, and now her and her coworker are sitting right behind you. I didn't know what to say. I was under the impression they were broken up. I thought we were trying to build and patch things forward. And all of a sudden, I now have this person's ex sitting right behind me and with their coworker. And my date, Jamie, is literally just in complete terror. So I continue eating, and all of a sudden, his ex-girlfriend, we'll call her Jane, comes up to the table and Jane introduces herself. Hi, I'm Jane. I'm Jamie's girlfriend. How are you? And I was in so much shock. My quickest reaction was, I'm well. Would you like some food? This is really tasty. And I offered her some of the food on our table. Jane declined and turned to Jamie and said, I need to talk to you. And they went outside and they were talking for a very long time. As I'm sitting at the table wondering, did my date leave? And what should I do in this situation? There's all this food. There's an empty chair in front of me. And I'm pretty much full and I don't have much of an appetite. Eventually, Jamie would come back and try to explain the situation. But by that time, I had had enough of their falsehood and their lies. You see, one thing I noticed about Jamie's social media is they hid in all their friends as well as all of their photos made it seem like they were single and therefore available. So I'll go as far as saying that narcissists want to present to the world that they're single even though they're in a relationship with you. And why is that? It's for the simple fact of narcissistic supply. Narcissists always need an audience. They need a constant supply of reassurance that they're so fabulous. They need the support to uphold the reality that they want, even though it's subjective reality and not objective reality. They get kicks off of flirting and basically dissatisfied with being in a committed relationship. I myself have had people in committed relationships or married men contact me, and even to my shock, horror, and surprise that they were actually in relationships or married. It's just that their social media made it seem as if they were single. People will go to great lengths to achieve the fantasies and the stories that they put in their own minds about who they could be if they're with you, of who they might be outside of their marriage or relationship. Now, unless you're dealing with a business or a brand, be very judicious on what type of content are they promoting. If the person is providing a lot of education and that's their entire niche, then sure, maybe that might get a pass. However, if all their content's all about them and their shirtless bodies or their body parts, basically promoting sex appeal, that is looking more like an invitation for I'm available, or I'm just simply waiting for the right person to make me available. And with that, we reach the end of the video. Tell me, what are your boundaries for social media when you're dating or in a relationship? Or have you noticed that with narcissists, they use their social media as an excuse or as a way to triangulate you, make you jealous, and basically diminish your confidence in the relationship you have? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next video. I hope it was helpful. Please like, subscribe, and share, and let's grow this channel. Until next time, stay well and vibe well.